Moi moi. That's Finnish for hi. Or is it bye? Well, let's check. That is also what this session is about, the data quality check. This is the first step of the evaluation phase. You do this step to check whether your data is complete and does not contain clearly incorrect data before analyzing it in detail. This session is primarily targeted at trial organizers, but it could also be interesting for practitioners, solution providers, and technicians. You will learn that the data quality check consists of 3 steps: structure, check, and store. What to consider when structuring and verifying the data. How to check for completeness of the data. And tips and tricks for storing your data.
The TGM consists of 3 main phases: preparation, execution, and evaluation. After having executed your trial, the collected data should be analyzed and disseminated. The main evaluation activities deal with data collection check and data analysis, in which the checked set of collected data are analyzed according to the evaluation approaches determined in the preparation phase. In this session, you will learn different evaluation approaches and metrics to analyze the data collected during your trial. The first step is to check the quality of the data. During your trial, you gathered a lot of different kinds of data with various means, for instance, via Observer, via questionnaires, and by using the testbed technical infrastructure to store the digital logs. This was done according to your data collection plan. Now, plans are always just ideal imaginations of how the reality should or could work. There are cases in which plans work out as expected, but it is common that deviations occur. These deviations are exactly what we need to identify during the data quality check. The main objective of the data quality check is to make sure that your evaluation will be based on data of high quality. The evaluation coordinator and the technical coordinator will have to spend at least 1 day on this important task.
Episode 32, Data Quality Check. You take a deep breath after the trial execution. You celebrate the success, but you also realise that the work is not yet ready. Gathering all data is important now. Before leaving for home, you emphasise to all your colleagues to store the data in the format and the place you already have established in the common workspace, and a second safety copy at that other place you prepared beforehand with your IT colleague. And when you return to the office the next day, you make sure that no data is lost or broken. At the moment you realise that something is missing, you ask the concerned group of colleagues to hand over the data immediately. They call you the dictator. Sure, they meant it as a joke, but you explain to them once more that if the data quality is not guaranteed, you cannot proceed with the analysis.
The main procedure for data quality check consists of 3 steps. Structure the data in such a way that it is logical and efficient. Check the data on missing values or errors. Store the data on a safe place. Make a backup. Always choose a structured approach, but it is important to act pragmatically, particularly when the amount of data is large. We will elaborate on the 3 steps now. The first step in the data quality check is structuring. Take the data collection plan and compare if the information is collected according to the plan. Take into account that data has been collected in 3 dimensions. Data related to the crisis management dimension are, for example, messages from participants, minutes from meetings or telephone calls. In the solution dimension, you might have gathered numbers, time measurements, or maps. The trial dimension provides you with data resulting from questionnaires and interviews. In this step, you are not looking yet for answers to your questions, so keep in mind to maintain all data no matter the level of detail. It might be useful for the analysis. After the structuring, you can start the data check. To validate the completeness and quality of the data is one of the most important steps of data analysis. Since data is essential for reaching your goals, it is extremely important to ensure that the data is not flawed. Data quality check is not just one step in data analysis. This is a recurring step that needs to be followed throughout the evaluation process. If you find out during your completeness check that data is erroneous or lacking, you should try to collect or refresh that data immediately after the trial. Raw data might be still available somewhere. If you decide to dismiss data from your collection, you should keep record from it and provide reasoning. Some of the collected data will not be used. Before you delete this data from the database, you should identify and specify the reason. For example, one of the observers has totally misinterpreted one of the situations in the trial. This turned out to be the case during the debriefing after the first part of the trial. The results from this observation is unusable and can be deleted because it cannot be refined or tuned. The last step of the data quality check is the storage. First, determine the logical structure, then make sure that every piece of information is stored in a logical place. If it is possible, store and back up the data after every block or session in the trial. Don't forget to store the qualitative data, like interviews or even email messages. After structuring, checking, and storing your data, you have performed a logical, complete, coherent, and ordered data collection. You started the data quality check with raw data, directly derived from the trial. After this step, you end up with a clean dataset ready for data analysis. There are many methods and tools available for structuring and organizing your data, like the After Action Review tool, the Observer Support tool, many different solutions, and the well-known Excel. As a final check of this step, you could ask yourself the following questions. Did you check the completeness of the data? Did you check the data on its quality? Did you verify the data and structure it?